Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armen Levack, 104.5 The Team every Tuesday at 5:15. Schwartzy in Phoenix going through his rehab, getting ready for training camp. And Schwartz, you were vocal on Twitter about Adam Schefter releasing JPP's medical records. Why did that rub you the wrong way?
Well, first of all, it wasn't so much that he released the photo; it was the fact that someone took the photo and sent it to him. I mean, that's obviously a federal violation of a law, of HIPAA laws. And, I've been through a lot of surgeries. I've been hospitalized. And I think that, we have certain rights as individuals, especially as athletes, to not release this information. So I'm not so terribly upset at Schefter. I think that, tweeting that picture when he got it, I mean, he's got to do that. I think every journalist would do it. I think all those guys said they wouldn't do it or lying. But I wasn't totally upset with him. I just think that JPP should have had the right to release information when he wanted to.
If you're JPP, are you looking into legal options against the hospital?
Yeah, against the hospital, yes, I would.
Because his privacy was violated.
Yes, it's a law for a reason. You sign the paperwork in the hospital, so they specifically have to follow the laws. And I think there's a reason why he did not want the information released. I think we know now what the reason was. I think he should try to get some damages from them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Geoff
Schwartz clearly violated the law. I think we all agree on that. That even if it was just you guys were getting a medical procedure and you didn't want people to know about it, and then everyone did. I think you're entitled to to seek damages for that.
100%.
I'm also an attorney too, by the way, so I'm kind of in the side of like just sue him.
What'd you say?
You're an attorney?
No, my mom's an attorney, and I've always kind of been like on the side of like just sue the person.
Yeah.
I just pictured you running into a courtroom, still shoulder pads on, necktie. I object.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armen Levack, 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports.
Schwartz, has anybody on the team heard from JPP? Just, how he's doing, anything like that?
I don't know, honestly. I know guys have made comments about how they haven't heard from him, but I don't really talk to him in general. I mean, we're friendly in the facility, but he seems to have kept us quiet, and it's his own personal right. And obviously, I think some guys would have liked to hear from him now, but he's got that choice to do that or not, and he's keeping it to himself.
How big of a deal is a right index finger?
Well, I think first and foremost, his stance will have to change. The right-handed stance, I think that's the first thing. And then just being able to grab and hold and push and stuff, it's going to be different for him. Just from living is a life from his life. So he's got to get used to using his hand a different way, and then get used to it, football wise. So, but for him, he's a very freak athlete. I think, I hope that everything works out great. Obviously, like I've said before in this program, that we need him. He's for his franchise for a reason, and I'd like to see him come back as healthy as soon as possible.
Has anybody on the Giants, warned the rest of you guys now? Has a letter gone out that said, "Hey, be careful," off-field risk, stuff like that, or is this just kind of nothing?
No. Here's the thing. I mean, obviously, unfortunate. Incident happened to him. Incident that happened to the Buccaneers defensive back, and obviously there was the guy that was arrested, finding his gun. I forget who it was in the Packers. Those are three incidents out of, I think there's over 2,000 players on NFL rosters right now. So it's not like all of us are out here, doing things that are harmful to our bodies, before the season. So a lot of us have been responsible, and we haven't had accidents. So I don't think we need a reminder every time something bad happens that we need to be mindful of the season starting in a couple of weeks.
But do you expect something like a meeting or a 5-minute presentation or something during training camp? No, not at all.
No.
Because, we talked to Jim Fossel last week, and he said, I have a talk with the guys every fall saying, hey, guys, when you're off the field, you still represent yourself, and, you represent.
We got that talk.
Okay.
We got that before we left. Every coach gives that talk. You're representing, first and foremost yourself, and secondly, your employer, which is the New York Giants and the NFL, and anything you do negatively will impact, obviously, yourself and impact the team, and we know that, and the coaches talk to us about it anyways, and we won't get it. We won't get a talk now about it. Not before training camp, but we did before we left.
Schwartz, like we mentioned the learning to play without the index finger, but he also alleged, based on that report that we all saw, whether we should have or shouldn't have, fractured thumb as well. That's just going to set back his lifting program for the most part, right? I mean, that can't be useful in any way, shape, or form.
I think in general, without missing a finger, would set back a lifting program.
I mean, once that heals,
I think the thumb is a big deal because I think that you probably use your thumb more for grip than your index finger. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not a hand specialist, but the injuries are extensive, and it's probably going to take him some time to come back. I mean, we obviously don't know until he signs his tenure and comes in for his physical exactly how long he'll be out.
Giants offensive lineman Geoff Schwartz with Armen Levack, 104.5 The Team. Your home for New York sports every Tuesday at 5:15. Schwartz, Aaron Kromer, the offensive line coach for the Buffalo Bills, is in some hot water. Went to jail on Sunday after allegedly shoving a minor to the ground, punching him in the eye. It was all done with his son. He threatened to kill his family. It's a sad scene to hear. The Bills and the NFL, obviously, at some point, once everything is cleared and understood, he's going to get in trouble. And if he is terminated, which it doesn't sound good, if he is terminated from the Bills, how big of a deal is it for a new staff to introduce an assistant coach, and then 3 months later the offensive line coach is gone and replaced?
That'll be tough, especially right before training camp. Some teams don't have assistant offensive line coaches. Some teams do. I think it's more of a trend to have them now. And when I first came to the NFL, we didn't have assistant line coaches, so they might have someone who's already able to take over the role of offensive line coach. But there's a reason they brought him in with the new staff. They obviously thought he was talented enough to do that. So it definitely is a blow to their staff. But he should hit kids. I mean, come on, ridiculous.
Schwartz, as we look at the deadline coming up to do the full deals, being tomorrow 4:00 Eastern time, what are your feelings on the franchise tag as it's being used with Dez Bryant and Demaryius Thomas?
I'm totally okay with Dez Bryant sitting out week 1. I think everyone in the facility would be okay with that. So I saw the collusion thing. I don't know, man. I mean, who knows? I mean, I like to not think that the GMs are calling each other, talking about how they're not going to pay their players. It's possible it happens, but I try to think that that's not the way the business is run. So, obviously the Cowboys and the Broncos have their choices. Whether or not the franchise tag should be allowed is another question. And we allowed that obviously in the CBA, so we have to deal with it.
Is this kind of why you've shown disdain on this show in the past about the franchise tag? Because in a way it kind of holds guys hostage to you'll take my numbers or else?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in any business, you want to create the maximum profit as soon as you can and see all the money that you're owed. And there's just one more year where a guy just has to play on a 1-year contract. Anything can happen in 1 year. You get hurt. I know the money's guaranteed, but it's still a fraction of what they would get, if they're in the open market or if they got a new free agent deal. So, I definitely think that we need to explore getting rid of this type of thing when the time comes in a couple of years to get a new CBA.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armen Levack. You mentioned how you would be disappointed if the owners collude and they talk about how much they're going to pay each guy. Geoff, isn't that part of life? I mean, isn't it hard for them? Isn't it easy for two owners who probably talk regularly anyway? Hey, man, how's your family? My family's good. What are you up to this week? Oh, what are you going to do for training camp? Oh, I'm going to do this. Hey, what do you think about Demaryius? Well, how are you guys going to handle it? Is that not just over the table talk? Why is it disappointing?
Well, it's not allowed for a reason. I mean, if it was allowed, then there wouldn't be a problem. But obviously, someone had decided that it's not allowed. I mean, they're driving down market value in any company. I don't think that's what anyone wants. I mean, I'm a player. I want guys to get the most money they can get. I know how careers are fragile and they don't last as long as everyone expects them to last. And these guys have earned a wage of free agency, and they should be able to get compensated what their value is. So anytime that this comes up, I'm going to side with the player.
Sure.
Now, what are your feelings that the NFLPA said that if both deals don't get done, they're going to push forward on the collusion charges? That kind of sounds like extortion from the outside looking in.
I mean, our PA threatens a lot of things. I have no idea if they really have a collusion claim or not. I just think that it's a way of, they're fighting for their players. That's their job, to find every avenue to fight for us, to find every wrongdoing. And maybe there's wrongdoing, maybe there's not. I mean, it's quite possible that both franchises don't want to pay their guys as much. I mean, it's a lot of things. I don't think that the NFL owners are terribly worried about our collusion claims, to be honest with you.
Geoff, is there any truth to the rumor that you've started a hashtag StayStrong88 so that Des Bryant will hold out week 1?
No, I've not started that hashtag, but I know that, like I said, we will not be disappointed if he doesn't play week 1.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman with Armen Levack, 104.5 The Team. You're home for New York sports. You tweeted out that you didn't watch the Home Run Derby last night. That was the most exciting Home Run Derby maybe ever. How did you miss that?
I was flying.
Okay, that's legit. I can also picture you purposely not watching it just because the San Francisco Giants not in it.
No, they're too busy, polishing their rings to worry about the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of. I had that planned out because I had a bunch of friends who tweeted me last night about the Jock Peterson and the Dodgers and the Giants were not in the Home Run Derby. I just made a comment about the Giants counting their rings, and it's easy. It's an easy joke to make. It works very well for Dodger fans. I like saying that.
What is this? You being featured in the Sports Illustrated for your cooking abilities? Is it a cooking show with Geoff Schwartz in the future?
It's possible in the future. Right now, that was a cool little thing I got to do. They came over to the house, got to grill a little bit, got to kind of talk about my passion for food and what it means to me and how I like to get on the grill. It's a fun thing to do, I mean, I can't spend my entire time studying my playbook and watching films, so I have to have some fun doing other things, which is tweeting and cooking. I guess tweeting is one of my hobbies, unfortunately.
Do all your neighbors?
I don't actually. And the funny thing is, I don't tweet like my entire life. So, imagine what I don't even tweet about.
Yeah, that's an interesting filter. I would like to know what doesn't make it.
My tweets when I retire, my Twitter game is going to be a 100, as they say.
But all right, so when you get home and you're cooking in the backyard, do all the neighbors just instantly come over when they smell smoke?
No. I'm not a big. We don't really know our neighbors very well. Not in Jersey. In Charlotte, we do.
Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman.
Did you just say you hate New Jersey? Is that what you just said?
No, I don't know my neighbors very well.
I'm just teasing.
I've been in my house in Charlotte for 5 years now, so I mean I should know the neighbors. I'm not a big. I'm kind of weary of sometimes neighbors. I don't know.
Fences make good neighbors.
Private sometimes, and I growing up, I was friendly. We were friendly with a lot of our neighbors. I just really haven't been that way since I got in the NFL.
I told Levack last week that if we're ever in Charlotte, we would give you a call and swing by. Would you allow us in your house?
Yeah.
Cool, perfect.
So my wife might freak out if the house is not clean enough, but I don't care.
Don't worry about that. Just whip up that green egg. We'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, come on down.
Perfect.
Come down. I'll be there in a couple weeks.
I'm in. We might be busy at training camps and stuff coming up pretty soon, but I guess you would be too. So
Charlotte will be a lot hotter than Albany, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I just love that we have the same schedule, and Armen just got us invited into your house. I don't know what you may have just caused yourself an issue.
Yeah, I just want the green egg treatment.
No, I'm okay with friends coming over. I have no problem with that. We enjoy hosting people.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for the invite. I'm excited about that.
So we're okay, but his New Jersey neighbors, they stink.
Yep,
that's all.
That's what we learned today. Geoff Schwartz, Giants offensive lineman.
They don't stink. I have not been friendly with them. My wife, I think, is friends with all of them. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I just don't. It's the way it is.
I got to be honest. If you were my neighbor, man, I'd be over there like, you're a giant. What's going on, man?
That's exactly why.
At Geoff Schwartz
on you come over in your Raiders jersey and just bother me.
Yeah, I would.
I don't know how that would bother you. I would come over in my Rashad Jennings Raiders jersey though, so it would be okay, right?
Yes, that'd be okay.
Glad we worked that out. At Geoff Schwartz, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook as well, and coming in 2087, GeoffSchwartz.com.
Ooh.
That website coming along fast?
I love how you keep changing it every time. You keep making it later and later.
You never.
Every week I come on, it counts for 3 more years. My website's going to be delayed.
I haven't heard of an update, so that's all I got.
It's getting close.
All right,
It's getting close.
Schwartzy, we'll hold our breath on that, and we'll talk to you again next week, man.
All right. Take care, guys.